What space management and in-store layout have to do with the way merchandise sells? Evidently, a lot. While Indian retailers were always aware of the fact, they've now trained their eyes on optimization of store space. Post the economic slowdown, the days of reckless expansion are over, and sales per square foot per month is of prime importance.
The cost of occupation can be anywhere from 8% up to 15% of sales, whereas the rest of the world it averages to about 5%.
A lot of Indian retailers were quite happy replicating international formats. Some of them took the effort of customizing these formats for the domestic market, but in many cases they just took it as is, which is based on the aisle widths which existed internationally, based on the shelf spaces which existed internationally.
The consumer has evolved into looking forward towards an experience in that store. Now, the moment you talk about experience, there is fundamentally one thing, which is a consumer wants to have a kind of space around and a logical movement with which he or she wants to shop.
Retailers are divided over what the Indian consumer is looking for: price versus in-store experience versus quality. High-density stores like Big Bazaar assume that the customer is willing to trade off comfort for the sake of price, while the likes of Aditya Birla Retail think differently.
We don't think standing in a bazaar, in a store which is like a bazaar where you are, you have to stand in a cashiering queue for 10 minutes and you feel that yes, this is a great store because there are people waiting in front of you. We don't subscribe to that theory at all, and we don't subscribe to the theory that you must rub against each other to get through the store. I think we feel Indians deserve a great shopping experience.
There is some maturity in parts of the apparel business, but not fully. I would say 30% is getting there, 70% is going bonkers completely. As far as the large format stores are concerned, what you call hypermarkets, there are two types of experiences that you see today. One is complete confusion. If you see Big Bazaar, Vishal, etc., I think there is a lot of confusion in the stores.
Whether it's the wide aisle space where a consumer can lounge around or the child-friendly trolley for kids to play in, most retailers are going all out to design the store according to the catchment. And apparently, it's working wonders.
The ladies westerns we have moved now along with the denim wear of men's, because the ladies western category customer also wants to buy the men's denim brands. So they move together as a category, and that works very well as an adjacency. So we worked hard on trying to push the adjacencies better and getting the right amount of brand mix within the store.
If there were two family members coming to see, take one phone, they were blocking a couple of SKUs which were on display. So we designed this particular counter where the salesperson went behind, and as you see, multiple customers can look at the merchandise. This has brought in the efficiency. We also have seen nearly 10 to 12% increase in the sale.
Now when they shop together as a family, in a normal trial room, the biggest challenge that they have is when they pick up a dress, try it out, they have to come out of the trial room to showcase it to their friend, mother, father, whoever is there. Recently, all of our trial rooms have been converted into community trial rooms. So in the menswear area, you will find a community hall kind of a situation. Trial rooms are one after the other, and there is sitting space just outside the trial rooms.
But the people who utilize space the best are undoubtedly the neighborhood kirana stores with the highest sales per square foot per month, and modern retailers in India are hoping to match up.
Traditional method of doing business in this country has been to really pile up everything in a store. So the average size of a store in India is still 120 square feet. In 120 square feet of area, the traditional retailer has got just about enough space to be able to keep all his merchandise and have himself and his helper standing in that place. That's about all. And that works because from a pure space throughput perspective, it can be really good.
In many stores, people don't even go to the CDIT section, but we start by exposing the customers to CDIT. Then they go to general merchandise, then they come to personal care, and then of course they come to fresh. Now normally people come into a store for fresh, which is fresh fruit and vegetables, staples.
Indian retailers find it difficult to make each of their stores alike. Different space allotment and differently designed shopping centres forced them to compromise on store design.
Different types of formats have different requirement of areas. So getting them an optimal store size also becomes very important. There's no sense giving a lady's garment who would typically require a 700 square feet store depending upon the product offering and tell them to go into a store which is 2000 square feet. It's bound to fail.
There are consumers who have seen the modern trade and Big Bazaar for quite some time. They are increasingly nudging us to say, can I get things in a little more comfortable fashion? Can you assure me that my basket sizes have gone up? So can you make sure that my trolleys are large enough to carry everything? So small things like that to very large things like, can you put in 2 more cash tills because your queues have become longer. So we do see people raising the bar. It's a great feeling for consumers who mature with their catchments and raise the bar on customer service.